Hey, what's up guys, aarava here and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2019 Manager Career Mode here with Red Bull Honda, and this is the start of Season 2 officially in the Red Bull. Technically Season 4 of this entire F1 2019 little Manager Career Series we've been doing, with the first two seasons obviously being Renault and then the third one being Red Bull Honda. But the fourth season is here and it's time to build our brand new car in this episode and also do a lot of admin work because there is a lot of rule changes coming up for next season. We need to kind of get ourselves familiarized with all that, and also we need to do some admin work with the drivers because Gasly is actually out of contract in 1 month's time. I think we will be going to renew his contract. I don't really want to get a different driver because, I don't know, I want some consistency from last season to this next one to really see how much our car has improved. And also you can see Gasly has improved, you know, with the mod, the form and the way the drivers develop is very much based off the form they've shown, and Gasly's shown some great form. He's 4 and a bit stars. Verstappen's 4.5. You know, he beat Bottas last season, who was in the Mercedes car, and that car won the championship and took Hamilton to the Drivers' Championship. So he's done a good job there. He would have beaten Leclerc if it wasn't for some bad luck in the last few rounds, really, I think. So, you know, I think he's done a stellar job. And really, if you look at the drivers' market, there's not a lot of people we're going to go for in terms of we would have to pay a lot of money to buy people out of their contracts. And you can see there, actually, there's not a big amount of scrolling to do until you get to 4-star, and 4-star is actually worse than what Gasly is, 4-star and a bit. So he's actually a very solid second driver there, and obviously, unlike real life, he has done a pretty stellar job in Red Bull Honda. Obviously, only 2 races in real life, but in the game, he's done the entire season. He's been pretty damn good. So I don't see any reason not to renew his contract. So I'm going to go ahead and renew it straight away. He's interested in starting those talks. You never know, later on in this season, if there is an opportunity to maybe sign someone else, we feel like we need to have someone else, then we'll go for it. But for now, I think we're fine here where we are. So in terms of negotiations, he says wages are important to him, so that means we can probably get away with only doing probably 502, so literally a 2,000 per race increase in his salary. Status is fairly important to him, so I don't know if he'll go for number 2 because he was a number 2 driver contracted last season. So I'm going to see how he goes with number 2. He'd prefer a long contract, so let's go 36 months. It might mean we have to buy him out, maybe. Bonus size is important. We can kind of cushy him up, maybe, with some bonuses, actually, if we go middle. And then let's see how this goes. He's got a lot of patience, obviously, with us, having that loyalty of already being in Red Bull. So let's go for a 36 and 24 bonus. Let's see if that kind of cozies him up a little bit to this kind of midway contract, to second driver contract. And let's see how that goes for him. If not, we're going to have to go for equal, which would be a bit awkward because Verstappen's contracted as a number 1 driver. So it's going to be kind of weird. We have to kind of make sure he kind of gets an okay car, but at the same time, Verstappen's expecting a better car than Gasly. So it's a bit of a weird situation. In terms of hiring new people, I don't think we need to hire anyone new, really. Just need to make sure all the contracts are all good, really, and swap in, obviously, for the start of the season who we want. So 17, swap him out for 18, so we've got a whole 18 pit crew going, but we've got a good, you know, secondary staff resting. But I'm pretty sure all of these guys have contracts that at least go for 5 races minimum. So I think we should be all good. Apart from this guy, apparently, he's got a, oh, no, he's just burnt out, maybe. So we'll just swap him in, actually, with someone. May as well do this guy because he's got 18. Swap him in there. And we may as well swap this dude in as well. Yeah, doesn't really matter. We haven't really changed many parts, have we? But now we're going to go through. Contracts running down. Gasly and Jack Doohan. He is our reserve driver. We could actually scout for a reserve driver, you know. So he's, at the moment, he's 2.5 stars. So let's try and see what we can get. Maybe try and get a Red Bull driver that in real life that would technically be a reserve driver. Maybe someone like Dan Tickton, I think, if he's in the game. So moving forward then, car repair is done off the back of the last race. And then we'll move on to the end of the championship then. And so we're going to have the prize money for the 2019 season. Receive prize money, 75 million for getting second place in the championship. That is a lot of cash injection. We have a lot of money to play with for next season. 126 million. Manager of the season has gone to Gunther Steiner for Haas. Where did Haas come? Haas came 7th, and you're giving him the manager of the season. I feel like I took Red Bull from a solid 3rd to, you know, right there, challenging Merc. I feel like I should have been in the running, or at least, you know, give it to someone else. Like, Racing Point done quite well, P6, but Haas, P7, Okay, and then the driver of the season is Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, the second guy in Ferrari, 177, way off his teammate, way off Hamilton. Okay, so I don't know what the voting's gone on there, but there you go. But anyway, we're moving through to the end of the season then, one more day, and then it's all about the championship being activated for next year. 2020 rule. So this is it, guys. Rule changes for this year are the removal of the Ardennes GP. I'm really sad to see that. I'm sad to see the Belgium Grand Prix go, to be honest, because I enjoyed that race. It was a very fun Grand Prix, usually. Random grids. Remember, no more qualifying in 2020. There are random grid orders now. This is going to spice things up so much. It's going to be crazy and wacky, and I'm sure I'll get pissed off, but also elated at some point in the season with it. Energy recovery system's back, so we didn't have that last season. I missed that from seasons 1 and 2, so we voted that back in, and so I'm happy to have ERS back. That's going to help us massively with the fuel saving potentially as well. And then we have a bonus point for fastest lap. I believe it's actually 2 bonus points for fastest lap, just like in real life, but 1 more point actually. And then the promotions, Formula 1, Porsche has been promoted into Formula 1, Manor is gone down to Formula 2, and then Team Penske is up into Formula 2, and Aston Martin will drop down to Formula 3. So Porsche is in Formula 1. Interesting times, to say the least. But we're going to move through then towards the building of our car already in pre-season. But before that, we got some contract negotiations here. I'm trying to sign Antoine Hubert. He's a very good driver. Obviously, in real life, he did very well in his F2 debut. He's the GP3 champion. I'm trying to sign him. He's not happy with his really low wage. He said he didn't care about his wages, so I try to lowball him massively. So maybe we'll be happy with 112 perhaps, and we'll put down the signing fee because he doesn't deserve a massive one if he's going to get more money out of us per race. So I'll go with 112, but we can sign him. I think he's a very solid reserve driver option, I think. And in terms of Pierre Gasly, I think, yeah, he's going to accept that contract. So there we go. Gasly will sign him for 536 per race. So that is pretty much only 2k more than we're paying him right now. 25-month contract. So if we want to replace him later on, it might be a bit more costly. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. And he's accepted the number 2 offer. So that's great for us. So we can continue basically giving Verstappen the better car. And they'll still be kind of happy with each other, basically. So sign that contract. Welcome back to the team, son. Happy to have you re-sign with the team. Going to move forward then into pre-season. I think it'll be time to build our car now. So we won't know if we'll sign Hubert quite yet, because it's time to build our cars. Adrian Newey sends us an email. Also, remember, we saved a lot of money with fat stacks on the finances, so we'll have even more cash injection for next year's car. So design next year's car, and there we go. We get 20 million. That's how much we saved for this year's car, basically, over the course of last season, being very strict with the money. So we've got nearly 150 million to play with, 146 million to play with. Absolutely amazing. So let's build this car. So engine supplier. I want to stick with Honda because it is the Red Bull Honda Manager career. It's based off the 2019 season, so I think it'd be a bit wrong not to go with Honda. And also, sticking with Honda gives us a discount of 15%, which is quite a chunky, hefty amount. And so I'm pretty sure we had this Honda engine before, but now we can go with Honda Racing, which is basically, if you think about it, it's almost like a even better engine version, basically. You know, we've been with them for a year. Now we can step it up and upgrade by quite a fair bit to the Honda Racing package. Fuel supplier, we get a discount on Mobil 1 because we were with them last season, but they weren't really great. You saw fuel efficiency was very weak, and we saw that in the races. Now, ERS will help us this year, but I think we should go with someone different, and I think we need to also work it out with the material supplier, brake supplier. I'm going to first of all actually go with material supplier. Going to go for A-Spec here. Very strong, no-brainer. We got the money to spend. Brake supply and battery supply. Let's go for 40% starting charge, efficiency of 72. I think I'd go with that. So we have a little bit of charge to use right at the start of the Grand Prix. And then the efficiency is pretty good, actually, compared to 0 to 97. That's amazing, obviously, but 72% is not bad. And so now it's just about brake supply and fuel supply, trying to get the balance between improvability, tyre wear, tyre heating, and fuel efficiency here. I think I want to go with a very strong fuel efficiency, to be honest, with Castrol. Very weak improvability, though. But we can maybe make up for that perhaps with the, well, later on down the line, basically. I think we can try and add on the improvability. But in terms of tyre heating, what do we want to go with? It's either, well, there's no double option. So it's either very strong on tyre wear and tyre heating's poor, or we go with tyre. I mean, that's a difference of what? That's like maybe a third of a star on tyre wear, and we get a whole third more add-on tyre heating. So that's kind of 50-50. We could adjust it then with nose height and go for more tyre wear. Go down. I'd rather have fuel efficiency, though, than tyre wear, to be honest. So I'll go with nose height, putting that right up there instead of low. And then rear package. Obviously, it's not going to actually physically change the car, but it's obviously a mechanic in the game to adjust this. I'd rather go for some more improvability than tyre heating there as well. Is there any way we can change this, though? If I sacrifice very strong, we can maybe get better improvability, but I don't know how much is that really going to be worthwhile for us? I'm not sure. Because our car should, in theory, start off quite strong. And fuel was a big issue last year, but last year we managed with very weak. And this year we have ERS. So actually, Petronas might be the way to go for us to have better improvability. And with ERS, we should be able to comfortably, work around the fuel issues, because there won't be any more issues, hopefully, with not being with Mobil 1 with very weak. So I think I'll go with Petronas, actually, which is actually kind of, ironic, obviously, because that's the Mercedes sponsor. But, yeah, so we're going with Honda Racing, the upgraded Honda engine. Petronas, material was A-spec, brake supply is Magneti Marelli, and then battery supply is this first one there. So that's going to cost us 56 million. So we've actually got a lot of money left over to just plow into development of this car early doors, basically. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be a very aggressive season in terms of development, I think, for us. So 56 million spent on next year's car. We've got 90 million left, which is a lot of money to plow into this car. I'm hoping this is the start of the championship season for us here at Red Bull Honda with Verstappen and Gasly. Let's go. Let's get through pre-season then. Let's check on who has he accepted this. Yes, he has. So we're going to sign the GP3 champion as a reserve driver. That's going to be pretty damn nice. Goodbye, Jack. Sorry, mate. Total income expenses. Have to pay him off. There we go. Pretty damn awesome reserve driver in case something happens to one of these two guys. And hopefully he can maybe grow a little bit. Maybe we'll use him some practice sessions, perhaps, actually. You know what? We might actually do that. Try and grow him a little bit, because he should have good potential, actually. Obviously, with his real-life pedigree, I hope in the game he could have some good, potential stats, perhaps. And obviously, with the mod, it's really about how much experience they have and track time they have. So if we can use him in practice sessions, he might actually grow quite nicely. Well, we're going to move on then. We've got a dilemma, tyre simulations. So we can add +1 to tyre wear for 2.5 million. Tyre wear is at 3.5, so we sacrificed a bit of tyre wear, didn't we? So we can add +1 to that for 2.5 million. That's good by me. So that's not really, that doesn't dent us at all, really, honestly, with our car. So move on a little bit more, see if there's anything going to come up in terms of another dilemma in terms of the email. I hope so we can improve the car in some other area, but for now nothing's occurring, nothing's happening. We're into January now, so that's a little bit worrying that there's no email. There we go, fuel supply breakthrough. That's going to be good. So we can add +1 of fuel supplier. So we're already on 3.5. That'll take us to 4.5. That's going to be mega stuff there. Obviously, we sacrificed a little bit of fuel efficiency, remember, because, we debated, with ERS, we'd be good. But now, another 2.5 there. That's pretty damn decent. So now we will have a 4.5 star on fuel efficiency and tyre wear. Improvability still 3.5. Tyre heating is the poorest 3. That's still pretty damn good. I think our car is in good shape in terms of the base stats, in terms of what the characteristics could be. So I think we've set ourselves up very nicely. The car should have good tyre wear, good fuel efficiency, even with the ERS, even more fuel efficiency, so we could really push. We've got Gasly becoming a successful musician, apparently. Oh, that's not a good thing. He's -2 on everything for 20 weeks. Pierre, why? You've just become 3.5 stars. You were 4 and a bit, and now you're 3.5. Are you kidding me? That's frustrating, but okay. We move on then. That's a little bit annoying. So kind of doubling down on giving Verstappen the better car then, if Gasly's too busy focusing on a music career outside. But here we go then. It's time to edit our livery then for the 2020 season. And I have a very nice idea in mind. Since we've re-signed with Honda for a second year, I think we should have some Japanese inspiration onto the car, if you know what I mean. So this is our brand new car in white. I think that looks really
really tasty. I've always imagined what a Red Bull car would look like in white, you know, having that Japanese, what's it called, inspiration, you know, for the white and red colors of Japan. I think white and red with the Red Bull, still very red and yellow. I think it works well. Almost looks like a Red Bull Stratos kind of car from obviously the Red Bull space program in a way as well. I think I really like that, and it's a nice change for Season 2, the championship winning year, maybe, hopefully. We're gunning for the championship. We're really going to be starting from the get-go, hopefully being able to challenge Mercedes, I'm hoping, and Hamilton. And so the car looks very different for a very new year. I like it. Hopefully you guys do. Let me know in the comments below. That's our new car, though, for Season 2 with Red Bull Honda. So, unique opportunity email now coming up after that. McLaren Grand Prix being in the news lately after one of their engines caught fire in the garage. GMA are calling for their work practices being unsafe. So essentially, let's do a marketing piece, I'm guessing. So, plus 25 marketability, minus 20 for chairman happiness. No impacts. Sponsors, we've got one more race for Roush, and then 2 for Simons to run out. I definitely pronounced that wrong. Marketability right now is 4-star appeal. The team marketing was 100%. It's really just Gasly letting us down a little bit. So really, I don't need to focus on the team. So I'm going to say no impacts and just say no to that, really. So we're going to move forward then towards pre-season and the building of a car. By the way, before anyone says about upgrading our HQ, I've looked into it. We could upgrade our HQ because we are a little bit down the order now. You can see in terms of the design and factory. I guess other teams have got level 4. But the thing is, even if I had built this or started building it, literally at the very start of this episode, when we were still in Season 1 of Red Bull Honda, technically, we hadn't made it through to 2020, this would still take all the way till September, which is basically this race. So we'd only have 4 races with this new HQ. I personally think we could go for the championship win without that HQ. Because the thing is, we've got so much money to spend. Really, the only thing that's going to hold us back is that design time. But we're not going to be building an engine probably again, because our engine should theoretically be the best engine on the grid, I think, once it's finished being made. And we're making all the smaller parts, like the front wing, the rear wing, the gearbox, which doesn't take too much time anyway. We saw we had the facilities to make them pretty damn quickly anyway. So I personally really don't actually see a benefit of having a better design center or factory, especially if it's going to take most of the season, really. It might have been beneficial if, in hindsight, I built it halfway through the last season, but we also needed that money to build that new engine that we've got now for this year. So I think for me personally, we've gone the right way in terms of how I like to play the game. Obviously, I know a lot of the time, historically, most of the comment sections always wanted me to upgrade the HQ way more than I ever do. But I just see, you know, you just can pump in more funds to the car, basically. And especially once you get the hang of how the races go with the AI, you can do better with a better car rather than HQ. And I feel like I'm slowly getting the hang of it. Sometimes the AI do catch me out, a la kind of Vettel last race of the season. I don't know how on earth he just had that much pace, but you know, I just don't see the benefit for us right now. We should have a solid enough baseline and speed with upgrades with the money we've got to really take the fight to Mercedes, I feel. So in light of that, pre-season testing is here. So we're going to see the car design is complete, or will be complete once we do pre-season testing. So yeah, I've got it. ERS is engaged. Pre-season testing. Let's go. Let's see how it goes then for testing and how Verstappen and Gasly do. Hopefully no issues for both of them. Gasly, no issues. Verstappen second the timesheet. That's very good to see. Obviously Hamilton, we know his AI is quite OP, so I'm not surprised. But we've got struggling with understeer a little bit there for a second there for Verstappen, and we've got gearbox issues for Gasly. So, we've got a minus 10 morale there for Gasly with the gearbox issues. No change for Verstappen. So all in all, pretty okay actually there. So we're going to move forward. I can already see some driver transfers have been made. So we're going to have a quick look at that before we end out the episode then in terms of what the grid is looking like ahead of this Australian Grand Prix. But our car's looking pretty okay. We're going to go to improved parts and look at that engine. Lovely stuff, that legendary engine. Add on to the performance of that. The brakes, the gearbox, I think. Also reliability we need to work on there as well. So all those things. The wings we can live without, really, and suspension. Actually, you know what? Maybe I might want to do suspension instead of the brakes, to be honest, because that might be a quicker fix in the race if it does go. So we're going to do 16, 19. Let's have a look at our car compared to the grid. So overall, we're second place on the grid. So pretty much where we ended off last season. Best engine on the grid. Acceleration we need to work on. Brakes as well. The wings, of course, but not too much. The wings were actually second. Suspension was second, actually. So, surprisingly, for once, suspension, I'm pretty damn good. Usually, that's my poorest area. And rear wing, we definitely need to work on. So, I think, like I said, we're working on the fastest parts that get made, which is the rear wing, front wing, and then I would say, I'll probably say the brakes, I think, because gearbox, I think takes a bit longer, and I think we've potentially got more to gain on the brakes, potentially. We'll have to see. But on the mail, targets for 2020, I'm going to play it safe and say second place, because he's saying second place. And also, we saw last season, money wasn't really much of an issue for us, being Red Bull, with the sponsors we got as well. So I'm going to say second place, just to play it safe, so I don't get too much flack in terms of, from Dietrich, in terms of, like, the pressure of maybe being fired or whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and design, I think the weakest point of our car, compared to the grid, seems to be the rear wing. I mean, that's like a light green compared to everything else. So I think I'm going to go for that. That's only going to take 1.4 days as well. So that's pretty damn quick turnaround. So I'll go for plus 25 to max. That'll be the maximum I think we can get. Yeah, 1047. So that is going to be a pretty quick turnaround there. So 500k. Pretty simple. That's going to get done very, very quickly. But what was I going to look at? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Teams. So let's have a look there at all the teams and see how it goes. So Alfa Romeo have maintained Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, and Ericsson. I believe Raikkonen and Gio are the main drivers there. Alpine Racing retains Alonso and Massa, and Markelov as a reserve driver, I would say. Remember, it's a Fantasy 2019 mod, so that's why there's an extra Alpine team there, as well as Porsche, who have now come in. Haas is Grosjean and Magnussen. McLaren is still Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris. This is a change. Hamilton, and it's now... I don't know how to pronounce that. Aurier? I don't even know, mate. Look, I can't pronounce that name. Aurier. I'm going to say Aurier. Is that like a... I don't even know how you... Yeah, I'm not going to try. But Ocon's there. But I think this guy's been put in as a main driver. Porsche Racing have Lotrin, Ericsson, and Maney as well as a reserve driver. Racing Point retains Stroll and Perez. Obviously, we've got Verstappen, Gasly. Renault are now Ricciardo and Bottas. Interesting. Ferrari, Vettel, Leclerc still. Toro Rosso are Hulkenberg and Chilton. So they've changed completely. They've chucked out Albon and Kvyat. And Williams are Russell and Kubica and Lynn. They actually did quite well, remember, Williams. They did not get demoted because the next team is Formula 2 with Audi there. Oh, how fitting that Rosberg's in Audi, huh? Quite a nice My Driver throwback there, Rosberg and Audi. What's the... that's actually quite a cool-looking car as well, with Coca-Cola as a sponsor. But anyway, yeah, so that's the F1 grid. Standings-wise, yeah, I think confirmation that Mercedes are still not driving with Ocon. They're driving with Aurier, or whatever, I don't know. Aurier, you know what. You guys know I've never been great with names. So we're going to move forward then. Rear wing is designed already. So we'll design another rear wing, plus 25. We can go plus 25 again. That's during qualifying, so plus 30. Plus 30, that's going to be the better one, isn't it? Yeah, plus 30, plus 77. And that's going to get done 4 days before the Grand Prix. So we're going to get 2 iterations of the rear wing done before the first race has even come and gone. So that's great. In terms of improving parts then, we're not improving the reliability of any of these rear wings anyway, so already that's just a stand-up job on that, and we're going to move this reliability a little bit more forward there. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there, guys, because obviously the next time, in a few weeks' time, it'll be the Australian Grand Prix, so I'm going to leave it there for the pre-season video, basically, for the start of Season 2 with Red Bull Honda, the reveal of what 2020 is looking like. We've got random grids, we've got double points, we've got 2 points for fast lap of the Grand Prix, ERS is back, we've got a white Red Bull Honda car now, and we've got a few driver transfers in there, and we've still got a very OP, very good Honda engine in the back of our car, looking good, feeling good. If you guys are looking forward to the season start, then be sure to smash that like button. Let me know your thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, to subscribe for weekly Formula content. I've been Aarava. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.